What up brothers, it's Club King returning. Welcome back to my channel for another new review. Today I'll be reviewing Harley Quinn from the Suicide Squad by Hot Toys. And as you see, this is the special edition. I bought it recently from a guy in the Facebook community called Sculpt. Massive thanks to him for selling it me. I bought it as a block of 4 figures. It did me a great deal. The packaging was awesome and the communication was spot on. So anybody thinking about dealing with Sculpt, please take this as a recommendation. Also, once the video is fully processed, it will be available in 4K. So if you've got the devices that support that, please check it out. And please like, comment and subscribe on the video and interact with my channel. I do appreciate it because it brings more traffic my way. So let's stop chatting shit and roll on to the review proper. Let's talk packaging under 30 seconds. So as you can see, the box has got stunning artwork. I really do like it. The quality of card is really good, although it is just a slipcover box. The blue and pink theme sets it off really nicely. All the little intricate details and the graphics just makes it a really stunning looking box, very eye-catching. Also, something a little different inside is the slipcover is split into 2 sections, the upper and lower, so you can open that and that will display the figure inside. Something a little different and interesting. For that reason, I give it a 4 from a possible 5. Rolling on to likeness, and just to explain for the new people to my reviews, I am going to film the likeness twice, so you will see it in split screen. On the left hand side, it will be with the phone light on, so it should get hyper detail, particularly if you're watching in 4K. And on the right hand side of the screen, you will see it without the light on. So all the lighting you get in is just the cabinet lighting, so it gives a true reflection of what you will see if you were to buy this figure and put it into your own cabinet. So let's start having a look. There's nothing much new I can tell you about the likeness on this head sculpt that other reviewers haven't said. It's pretty much stunning. I think it's 100% Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, and a massive improvement on the recently released prison version, and a lot better, I think, than the pole dancing version. I don't even think they're close. This is the only one that you can instantly see Margot Robbie. I think the sculpt work is awesome, even on the teeth. Obviously she has an open mouth. The paintwork is stunning. Same with the eyes, a lot of depth. This sort of glassy look of the eyes catches the light really nicely. I like the head slightly tipped back, so you do get the glint in the eye. Also the paintwork, sort of the running blue makeup on the left eye and the running red makeup on the right. The art tattoo just under there, and then the rotten tattoo just along the jawline. Really well done. Another thing I'd like, sort of the earrings, as you see, the sort of safety clip earrings in the right ear, and then again in the left ear, the earring design, again, really nicely done. Another thing I love about it is the hair sculpt. The hair is posable, can move around, but the sort of the strands of hair is really finely sculpted, and then the paintwork through it. So the dyed sections at the lower part of the hair, and the colour that they've used, it's sort of a platinum blonde, and it does catch the light really nicely. To say it's not real hair and it is only sculpted hair, it does give the appearance of real hair, probably better than any female figure I've seen before. I think they've done stunning work on it. And again, there's 2 strands that sort of go down, the bangs I think you call them, or the fringe, whatever you want to call it. Again, really nice and fine, and do sit nice, look pretty natural. Sorry if this is going out of focus, it's trying to like sort of pick up on a choker chain and her earring and everything. So because the paintwork in the eye sort of lends to her looking that way, I think that's the way you've pretty much got to pose her. Slightly from above, I think she looks stunning. Not many figures really impress me straight out of the box. I've seen that many. Some are like, yeah, that's alright, or some are, yeah, pretty good, seen it all before. This one, like, oh, nice, a lot better than I expected it to be. I thought as soon as I opened it, I was just going to hate the knees and not really like anything else about it. That wasn't the case. The head sculpt takes you back. The outfit is really nice, and obviously this is all going to reflect in the scores I'm about to give you. The likeness is the easiest category to score, I would think, because it's a straight up 5 from a possible 5. Right, let's talk outfit. Show you the pose first. Got her with the bat just behind her head, just still in an upright position. I will say I can't get the bat deeper, which should really be behind the neck, but because of the only single bend elbow. That's as far down as it could go. So I know it's not accurate, but I'll pick up on that again when I do the articulation. But let's talk about the outfit. I'll start off by saying that collar, which says pudding, and then she has 2 bracelets. With the bracelets, you can have either set on or both. Both will fit if you push them far enough down her arm. Nice inclusion. Do make her look really accurate. The pudding choker around her neck. Basically, you pop her neck, or pop her head, should I say. Slip the collar on, push it down low enough, and then pop the head back on. Really nice touch. You see she has the 2 sort of scrunchies, or whatever you want to call them, which hold her pigtails on. Now, one of my first nitpicks with this figure, because I've just had such a great laugh with it. I filmed the first couple of sections, I put it down on the table to change around, and great thing that happened where that fucking ponytail fell off, and that little red circle that holds it on is a separate piece. It flew onto the carpet, so I've been fucking sweeping carpet for about an hour and a half trying to find that little red bastard. So that fucked me right off. So that's what I've been doing between cuts, just to let you know, magic of camera work and everything, magic of film. I've not really just seamlessly slipped from one cut to another. I've been looking around for that little red cunt there on a fucking charcoal grey carpet and then on a lino floor, searching all over for it, and I'm not happy about that. But anyway, the t-shirt is really nice touch with Daddy's little monster across her breast. The t-shirt, one thing I do like about it is it does go low enough down under her elbow so you don't see the elbow joints. But again, I'll pick up on that on the articulation. But it does look accurate to me. Really nice touch. Sort of got the rib and the stitch works on it, which do make it look pretty much like the movie poster or scenes from the film. She has the holster around both shoulders. I will say she did come wearing that. I haven't put the 2 bullet clips under her right arm, but I have put the pistol under her left. Moving down to hot pants or shorts. Really nicely done, nice choice of materials. Only little nitpick again here is the belt is slightly too small. It should sit sort of down the middle of a short, so a little bit lower on her hips. Now if you pull that down, it just sort of kicks up at the back, so you can't get it sitting so it's movie accurate. I think Dean Knight actually picked up on that as well, but I could be wrong. I think it were him. So I do like the look of it, but you could do with stretching the belt again. I could do it myself really easy, just warm it up and stretch it, but because I bought this figure to review and sell, I'm not going to do that. Moving down, another really good touch, particularly on my version, is the fishnet stockings. Now, you would think they fit loose like a Predator's bodysuit, but it's not like that. It's very different, and I didn't expect it to be how it is. It's pretty much a pliable kind of net on her legs, so I hope she don't fall off stand. You can sort of manipulate it around, and I think if you pull it taut, it sort of takes away from the unsightly knee joint. Can you see how it's moving in my hand? It will move back, and it tells you when you bend the knee and put the knee back into position, just to make sure that it doesn't trap the stocking between the knees. So that is a really nice touch, because I expected it to be very flimsy and very different to what it is. It feels, I can't think of it, I don't know. Can you see? I think by telling you, you're not really going to know what it is. It's hard to describe. It is fishnet stockings, obviously, but it fits super tight to the body to the point where you can actually manipulate it around the leg. So moving down, she does wear the Adidas style boot. They're not branded on the tongue, which I think they are in the movie, although it does still feature the 3 stripes, which is familiar to Adidas sort of female sneakers or boots. As you see, they do fit nicely, and because of the split between the shin section and the boot, you can still articulate her feet slightly. So that is a nice touch, and they're on ball joints, so they just pop on and off really nice and easily. Only downside with them a little bit, because of where the cut is sort of there, you do see a little bit the ankle peg sort of through the boot section, but I wouldn't change how the boots have been designed. She does also have a coat, which I'm going to display shortly, but from the sort of the poches in here and the look that they've given you, I think it is really good. A couple of niggly nitpicks, like I said, and I've also marked it down because I don't normally mark figures down if it doesn't apply to my figure, but because it's been so widespread that a lot of these have shipped with rips in the stockings, I am going to mark it down because that would let you know something to look out for if you are going to buy this figure. Obviously this one is mint, but some do ship with rips in the stockings, and if you'd have got one like that and it's not supposed to be like that, then I think you would be a little bit pissed off. Let's have a look at her with the coat on, and then I'll give you the score. So now you see her with the two-tone jacket on. I've pushed the sleeves up, and this time just put one of the spiked bracelets onto her wrist, and instead of showing her with the baseball bat, I've got her with her handbag. You can see on the chain, and the pistol in the other hand. So again, nice inclusion. They didn't really have to do it, although I'm glad they did. Just saves them doing another version with a jacket on version, I suppose. Again, it fits in nicely with the hot pants, the mixture of the blue and the red. And if we rotate it round, you see it does sort of have the stripe, gold stripe down each arm. And then the back is the property of the Joker. Really nice embroidery on the back. So again, nice touch. It's looking well from behind. Very nice indeed. So outfit as a whole is really good. I would have scored it a 5 out of a possible 5, to be honest. But because of, if I'm being honest, the fact that that pissed me off so much, and I know that some have received them with the stockings ripped, that is the only reason I've took a very niggly 1 point off and given the outfit a 4 from a possible 5. Because other than that, it's really stunning. Rolling on to articulation. And this is a category where the figure lets itself down a little bit. Let me explain why. Start with the feet. Like I said, I like how the feet work. Because of the split in the boots or around the ankle section, it does allow for some foot articulation. Not a massive amount, but just enough. Moving up to the knees. Now, before I got this figure, I was convinced this figure suffered from elephantitis. It just got way too much fucking sort of joint action going on. Way too visible. I don't know why they made such a, I don't know, really obvious line. And it's different to what they showed in the pre-order, I do believe, because it actually had a double jointed knee section, which again looked unsightly. Could they have put rubberized legs on? Possibly so. Would the stockings have sort of rubbed against it? Possibly so. That's maybe why they didn't. I will say in hand, it's not as bad as in the pictures. And if you look at it from an angle, sort of from above its waist looking down, it's less obvious than if you are at eye line or below, as you can see. And it is only a single bend knee joint, so you can't get too extreme with the articulation. There's no rotation at the upper leg. It's pretty much just a forward and backwards and a split in the hip and pelvis area, so limited there. No crunch because it's a solid body. That's because of the tattoo work, I would think, and sort of the painted skin. Moving up, the shoulders are quite limited as well. Will only rotate and move sort of up and down or in and out, how you want to say. It's no butterfly hinge, so they won't rotate forward and sort of move forward and move back. So it is limited in there. Biggest nitpick for me, because she wears either the coat or the t-shirt, which covers her elbow. No double bend elbow, so the pose options are limited. That's pretty much as tight as the elbow's going to go for you. No more than that. Moving down, her hands are on a standard wrist peg and do swap on and off quite nicely. No articulation in the lower neck because the head sits on an upper neck ball joint, so the articulation there is pretty good. I will also say her pigtails are articulated but do fall off a little bit too easily, like I said in the last section, and then you do lose, or I did lose for a short amount of time, the sort of bobble or the scrunchie, whatever you want to call it, that keeps the hair looking like it's attached. They do just sit onto a peg in the air, and then there's an hole in the pigtail, and then it just fits on like so. I can understand the limitations in the legs, although they didn't sort of go for the aesthetic because it still looks a little bit unsightly around the knees. Even with the pliable stocking, it still gives the image of a really different, a different size lower leg to upper leg. I think that's what creates the sort of massive step in it. Even pulling it as tight as it comes, you can still pretty much see it, so that doesn't work completely. But it's the elbows, like I said, that I can't forgive, and possibly the shoulders, because they could have worked around and give you more articulated shoulders, so she would have been able to pose the bat. I've had this with figures before, when the legs aren't too poseable, pretty statuesque, then you need really good upper body articulation to create a variety of poses. This doesn't really give it you, although she is still, when you do get her in a pose, she does look pretty cool, I've got to say. That's pretty much it. I've gone through the joints without moving them around for you. I'm going to give the articulation only a 3 from a possible 5, and it could have easily been a 4 if they'd have changed them elbows. Moving on to extras and accessories. And like I showed at the beginning, this is the special edition, so it does come with the mallet, which is a nice touch. I know it's pretty symbolic of Harley Quinn, particularly from the cartoons and comic books. I've got to say as well at that point, I'm not a massive DC fan to start with, so my knowledge of Harley Quinn is pretty limited. I just know that she's from Batman's Rogues Gallery and pretty much Joker's side bitch. Other than that, I don't know a great deal. I said before, I've watched the Suicide Squad movie. I actually tried to watch it a second time. I thought, I can't fucking persist with this. It's just bollocks. So I'm not a massive fan of the film, although I will concede and say Margot Robbie is good in it. I can't stand Will Smith, so people say he was good in it as well, but I just fucking can't deal with him. And Jared Leto as Joker was shite. So that were my personal thoughts on it. But anyway, getting back to the figure. She does come with the mallet. Obviously, the choker that's on her, and like I said before, it's gold with pudding written on the front. You have to put that on yourself. She comes with the Suicide Squad base. Obviously, Harley Quinn. And the sort of removable brick. It does have that on it. Nice display base. I will say this one's stand actually fits in quite loose, and the pole, sort of the crutch grabber, moves up and down very, very easy. It's very loose feeling, so look out for that. The set of sort of bracelet she's got on, she's got yes on her right hand and sir on the left. They are interchangeable. I will say as well, I'd have both sets on and both sets will fit, but just be careful, you don't want to mark the arm, because I see slight indentations where they've been, and they haven't been on this figure very long, so be careful how you display it. Another thing it brings that I haven't even debagged is the backdrop. I would never display backdrops because I go to like 9 figures per shelf in here, so the backdrops would just get in the way. I'm glad they include them for those who want them, but I'm really not interested in them. But I suppose it's a nice one if you do want to use it. Another good inclusion was the jacket, as I showed earlier in the outfit section. Really nicely done. Nice satin material with the nice embroidery on the back. Really eye-catching. The colours pop really nicely on it. The shoulder holster will hold the gun and the clips or chambers, whatever, I forget what they're called on these. You do have 2 sort of spare ones. I don't think they'll fit in the gun, and I will say the one that comes already in the gun is a bit of a pain in the arse, because that is also very loose. It rotates and just hangs outside at gun all the time, so look out for that. Moving down, the metallic purse or handbag on a chain. Again, nice inclusion. Moving up, better accessory is the wooden style baseball bat with good night written on it, and then the graphics in general on it are really nicely done, so I do like that. The other bracelets are the gold spiked ones, and then your selection of hands. Her left hands are all gloved with a sort of red fingerless gloves, varied poses, and then the right hands are all ungloved, although they do have the nice looking gold ring on the index finger, and the nail varnish also looks very good on it. Set of spare wrist pegs. I will say the wrist pegs do work differently to any I've seen before. They don't sort of just move up and down, they sort of rotate, because it's like a diagonal cut on the wrist peg, as you can see there. So that was something that I've not seen before as well. Nice selection of extras, although the glaring omission, let's say, is a second portrait. If this would have had a second portrait with a smirking head or a relaxed head or just a different look, because this one, it's so extreme, it gives you every pose that you it's sort of lending to certain poses. There's no neutral look for it, so to speak. So a second head would have given it an easy 5 out of a possible 5. Because it didn't bring an head, I'm only going to knock it down 1 point. So I'm giving the extras a 4 from a possible. So that again with my teeth in, a 4 from a possible 5. Rolling into value and the sum up. If you remember me unboxing, I did buy this as a 4-figure set. So I bought this, the tuxedo version of the Joker, a Black Panther and a Doctor Strange. All figures I'd kept my eye on over the time when I weren't really doing many reviews, and I thought if I could get them at the right price, then I would have them. If not, I don't miss reviewing them, sort of thing. I saw they were for sale through the Facebook groups. I don't mind paying direct through PayPal. I trust everybody until they give me a reason not to. I made an offer to Scott and he accepted it. He got them shipped out, as I said in the unboxing, and his service was brilliant. Now, I'm not going to give the exact price of this figure for 2 reasons. One, I don't know exactly what I paid for it, but like I say, if I divide the price that I paid total by 4, then I got this at a really good price. Now, for his reasons, because he's still selling some figures, I do believe, through Facebook, I don't want to give people ideas of what to offer him per figure. Now, I will say, because that's the case and I know what I paid for this figure, I'm going to score it quite highly on value. Although if I were to suggest what you guys should pay, I think for the special edition, I don't know now because we're sort of away from the new release stock. I do think this is the Harley Quinn to have. So if you've not got this one and you got one of the others, then I think you've dropped a bollock. I think this is the one to have. If you can get the standard version around £200 and possibly the limited edition or special edition, whatever they want to call it, for somewhere around $220, then I would think that's about a right price in the current climate. I did pay less than that, I'll be honest, so for that reason I'm scoring the value a 4 from a possible 5. The things that it brings are good and are all things that you can use. There is little niggles and nitpicks, mainly the little fucking air bobble things. If I was keeping this figure, which I might actually do because it's so good, I did buy it to review to sell. Now, if I still got a good offer, then I would think about selling it. But it's one of them figures, it's that good, but from a shit license, I don't mind if I can keep it myself. But if I do keep it, I would certainly be gluing those bobbles or scrunchies, whatever you want to call them. I will be gluing them onto the air. So the air is still articulated, but then bobbles don't fall and get lost, because I've actually dropped the red one twice. First time it took me an hour and a half to find. Second time I saw where it went, but I was ready for fucking throwing this phone through this cabinet. That's how I was feeling about it. So I would certainly think about gluing them things in place because they're a pain in tits. Anyway, not much I can really add. Massive thank you to Scott. Massive thank you to you guys for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. Share me stuff around if you don't mind. And thank you for sticking with me. Look, for now, I'm out of here.